What's going on, Raiders? Duelim here, and today we're going to be talking all about books. That's right. Books are one of the hardest resources to come by, especially legendary books, and making sure you don't waste those is going to be key to progress in your account. So I reached a point in my account where I got to, and I was like, wow, I don't know who I want to book next. So I figured I'd make a video on it to give my insights and why I picked who I picked. So if we go to my champions here, we're going to have three options. So right now we have Elva Autumnborn, Duchess Lilitu, and Oella are going to be my three kind of choices that I was looking at to potentially book up and get fully ready to go because books are an extremely important part to a lot of champions kits to make them really, really work a lot better. So, but first, make sure you're clicking that download link or scanning the QR code to get Karato Fox Hunter. The second you start the game, an amazing legendary nuker. At level 10, you're going to be getting Tagore, an amazing epic support character. At level 20, you're going to be getting Fane, who's got some incredible turn meter steal, as well as some pretty crazy damage. And then at level 30, you're going to be getting Vergus, who's a defense-based champion, to help keep your other characters alive. And then, this is super important, day number 1 within the first 24 hours of making your Raid Shadow Legends account, type in promo code Monkey King to get Sun Wukong, one of the best free legendaries they have ever given. And if you're on iOS, make sure you're clicking a different link in the description to type in any promo codes. Let's go over to Hell Hades and look at Oella first, and then we will look and see how Hell Hades ranks her and the book recommendation for her. So she is a 4-star magic character, still pretty good, honestly. Not bad at all. Pretty good in faction wars as well. I'll probably end up using her there. Book value 9 out of 10, and every character on Hell Hades is going to have this as well. You want to book the A1, then the A2, then the A3. Obviously, you do not have that choice, though, but that's going to be the priority is essentially what it's saying. The A1, because it has an extra 20% chance, making this 100% chance to place a decreased speed. Then you get the cooldown on the A2. Then on the A3, you could book it down all the way to a 3-turn cooldown, but this is where they're trying to say, hey, use one less book, essentially, just to get it down to a 4-turn cooldown, essentially. So that's going to be my first option. Next up, we've got Elva Autumnborn. So let's go there and look at her. And Elva is very good. Sylvan Watchers, I think she's a 4.5 magic. She's very, very good. She's good in a lot of places, a lot of healing, increases ally speed in all battles by 19%. You see book value for her, 10 out of 10. You want to book the A2 and the A3 first. Obviously, can't choose that, but if you could, that would be the best. So for the A1, it's just extra damage, but she's not there for damage, so doesn't really matter. The A2 has a 75% chance of removing all debuffs from all allies, places a block buffs debuff, and a 30% increased speed on all allies. So first of all, a full team cleanse is really, really nice. Getting that up to 100% is really, really good. Also, getting this down to a 3-turn cooldown is very amazing because you're also getting a block debuffs buff and a 30% increased speed buff on all allies for 2 turns. And then if you have something like Relentless, this gets down to a 2-turn cooldown essentially, and you're always going to keep these buffs up and on your team, keeping them alive a little bit better, which is really, really nice. And then the A3 here, revives a target ally with 40% HP and 50% turn meter, then places 60% increased defense buff and a 50% increased attack buff on that ally for 2 turns. And this can get booked down to a 3-turn cooldown. So immediately. Oh, and the passive. I mean, the passive for her is really insane too. Heals each ally for 10% of their max HP at the start of their turn. Places a perfect veil buff for 1 turn on the ally with the lowest HP at the end of this champion's turn. So immediately I'm looking at this character, and Elva automatically is better than Oella, right? Just all around better, in my opinion. So doesn't have any way to slow the enemy, but does have the increased speed and a block debuffs buff, as well as a single target revive, increases defense buff as well, increase attack, 50% turn meter. We also get a passive perfect veil on the lowest HP on turn. That's why this character is very, very good with Relentless as well, and putting healing them for 10% of their max HP at the start of their turn, which is really, really nice. So keeping this team topped off a lot is really, really good. And this, I really, really like this kit. This kit's very good. And now let's take a look at Duchess. So let's look at Duchess Lilitu here. And for Duchess, she's a 4.5 as well. Spirit Affinity. And let's scroll down here, and she's very good in a lot of areas. You see she's good in almost every single dungeon except for Shojin. She's good in Doom Tower everywhere except for Dark Fae, essentially. Very, very good character. Book value, 10 out of 10 as well. It's the A2, A3, book priority, obviously, because the A1's kind of meh. It does get a little bit more shield, getting up all the way to a 40% shield of max HP, which is really, really nice. So it gives it for 2 turns on this champion and the ally with the lowest HP. So kind of similar to Elva, where it's healing and putting the perfect veil on the lowest health character. So kind of nice. The A2 Shroud of Souls. We've got 1 book to get it to a 4-turn cooldown. Places a block buff, debuff, and a 50% increase attack buff on all allies for 2 turns. And places a perfect veil buff on all allies except this champion for 2 turns as well. Perfect veil, amazing, amazing buff. There's no cleanse on this like Elva, but this is really, really nice. And then the A3 Spectral Rebirth revives all dead allies with a 70% HP. Places a veil buff on all allies except for this champion for 1 turn. Places a 15% continuous heal buff on all allies for 2 turns. And then the last one is going to be decrease the damage by all allies from AoE by 25%, 15% from bosses. So this is just a general AoE damage stoppage, and this is additive with Veil and Perfect Veil as well, which is really nice. So that is very, very helpful. Now, the differences between her and Elva, Duchess does not have that cleanse, right? But Duchess does have the full team revive. And I think that alone makes her better. That right there, especially on a booked down to a 4-turn cooldown, makes Duchess that much better. So if you're in between a couple different characters, really look at their kits, really break it down, and see where you're going to get the most value. Especially with Duchess, you're going to look here at the ratings overall. You see Duchess had a lot higher ratings than Elva did. Elva did not have the highest ratings everywhere. Now, she is very, very good, don't get me wrong, but she did not have the highest ratings or as high ratings in as many modes here. So I'm going to be going with Duchess for those reasons. So let's go back in game here. We're going to be looking at it, and we are going to go over to Duchess. I've also found I've been using Duchess a lot more as well, just because I really enjoy her kit. So I'm going to be booking Duchess. And something I also wanted to talk about. So right now I have 2 legendary skill tomes. Something I also wanted to talk about. Somebody asked me if they should use mythical skill tomes on legendary characters, right? And I asked them why they thought they should do that. What was their thought process? And they go, well, I'm never going to get a mythical. It's never going to happen. It's what's the point? I might as well get characters higher rank now instead of keeping the mythical skill tomes doing nothing in my inventory for a mythical I'm never going to get. And my response to that is, no, bad, bad, bad. I'm spraying you with a bottle of water right now. Do not do that. Please, please, please do not do that. Mythical skill tomes are one of the hardest resources to come by, and you should absolutely never, ever use mythical skill tomes on a legendary character, or legendary skill tomes on an epic character for that matter, right? Never, ever, 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 ever do that. That is a complete waste. I promise you will get a mythical one day. I have not gotten one, but I have not given up hope. I've seen in live arena people at level 57 have 2 mythicals, and I'm sitting here at level 61 and I have none. So do not waste it. That will be one of the biggest mistakes, because in the second you have a mythical, the first thing you're going to want to do is book them all the way up, and if you have nothing, that's bad, right? All right, so we are going to be doing 2 books here. Let's see what we get lucky on and what we end up upgrading, and I believe that is the A1, which is quite unfortunate. It is. We got the damage. So this is going to be the one that I want upgraded the least. But what's going to end up happening is I probably will upgrade this all the way anyway, especially for the shield, because towards the end, the shield is really good. Like 40% equal to the champion's max HP is really, really nice. So I think that will get it really, really good, because even 40% HP at 60,000, 64,000 is like a 28,000 shield. So that's really, really nice. So that's how you need to look at every single champion. Now, I know this is a very specific case-by-case basis, depending on your roster, right? But you can use these tools and use these tips to be able to make your decision the most informed possible. So you want to look at how many places can you use a character, what they are giving, and what you are needing right now. Are you needing a full team cleanse? Well, guess what? Elva has that even without the books, right? Do you need a full team revive? And Duchess, I do need a full team revive. And I'm noticing in some places, especially in the event dungeon, I would have loved to have Duchess have the revive a little bit sooner, right? Instead of having a 6-turn cooldown, get that down to a 4-turn cooldown, whatever it might be, right? So I'm looking at it as I'm trying to solve issues with my resources instead of just throwing stuff at the wall and hoping it sticks. I look at what it's going to solve, and by putting a book on it, this is going to solve some of my issues, because I'm going to get a full team revive a lot quicker instead of waiting for that cooldown 6 turns potentially, because it could definitely be a long time. So I hope this helped you guys out. I know this is a big question in the community, and I know it's something that's very, very difficult to answer because everybody's account is different, but that's the beauty of Raid Shadow Legends and why I'm having such a great time. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and until next time, this has been Duelim. Later, Raiders.